Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
Workers from the biggest nursing home operator in the state walking off the job straight to the picket lines this morning. And this afternoon, we're hearing what employees are demanding. That does top our news this noon. Thanks you for joining us. I'm Rhonda Walker. It's an ongoing battle between healthcare union CU and Sienna Healthcare, and it comes as the two sides are working to agree on a new contract, but they're far apart right now. It's caused employees at 5 facilities across Metro Detroit to walk out of work this morning and go on strike. Victor Williams was there from the beginning at 6 a.m. with more on what employees want.
What do they want? Better contracts? When do they want it? Exactly right now. That's all we've been hearing from workers who decided to walk out of the job straight onto the picket lines. At 6 a.m., it was clear that nursing home employees working under the Sienna Healthcare umbrella had had enough, leaving the job on Tuesday morning to make their voices heard through the form of protest, demanding higher wages and better resources to care for patients.
No back pay, no peace.
We're treated unfair in here. We break our backs in here. We're in pain constantly every day just to get a little payment.
Over 300 workers in total were doing the exact same thing at 5 Sienna Healthcare locations all across Metro Detroit. Looking on, U.S. Senator Stephanie Chang.
They're fighting for a fair contract, better pay, and not rolling back vacation days, which I think is a really common sense ask during this time where we need to make sure that people are getting the care that they need.
Another concern is what employees believe to be inadequate staffing, resulting in the patients being put at a disadvantage.
They refuse to give the residents the proper care that they need by us being short-staffed. 16 patients on day shift. You cannot possibly get the work done that they need.
The CEO of Sienna Healthcare, David Parker, says they are working on finding an agreement with the following statement, which reads, quote, "The planned strike is diverting attention away from the bargaining to resolve the few remaining open issues in each agreement, and we look forward to working with the union to obtain favorable contracts for our employees," end quote. But some employees are saying that that's not good enough.
He doesn't care. He's at home. He's doing whatever he's doing while we in here slaving with our extended family. He doesn't care about anything going on here. All he cares about is being greed. Money, money, money.
We should make sure that the workers who provide that care are getting treated fairly.
And at this point, we're not sure where negotiations stand, but the hope is that some common ground can be found soon, so it's not the residents who are left with the short end of the stick. On the east side, Victor Williams, Local 4.
And we did receive a statement to Local 4 from SEIU Healthcare, and it says in part, Sienna's communication to the public and the press is disingenuous at best. These facilities see 40 to 60% turnover every year, and the care suffers as a result. SEIU HCMI is proposing contracts that recruit and retain staff to provide the kind of care that the residents of these facilities deserve. We do have a traffic update for you. This is the Livonia-Farmington Hills border along 8 Mile, right at the intersection of Middle Belt. It has been closed for nearly a full day now because a tractor trailer leaked acid onto the road after a crash yesterday evening. This is a picture of that acid-covered roadway they're cleaning up. Hazmat teams say that there is no threat to the public. Garden City Police are asking for your help finding a missing 13-year-old. This is Tamaya Jones, and her name may sound familiar to you because Jones' name actually came up during our investigation into the Vista Maria facility. The teen ran off from that facility and was eventually found in Detroit a few weeks ago. She's been receiving care at a nearby hospital since then, but on Monday, police tell us that she left that hospital and has not been seen since. She was last seen wearing a black sweatshirt, black pants, gray socks, and sandals. If you think that you've seen Tamaya or you know where she is, you're asked to contact Garden City Police. The man accused of abducting, sexually assaulting, and murdering Beverly Wyville over 35 years ago appeared in court earlier this morning. Buster Robbins was charged for the rape and murder of Wyville back in 1989. Investigators have also tied him to the disappearance of Paige Rinkowski from 1990. A judge determined that the case will be sent back to district court, where it will then be determined if there's enough evidence for the case to move to trial. We have questions into Detroit police about this. This is viral video that shows a police officer running a red light and smashing, T-boning right into another driver. You can see that the officer didn't have any lights and there were no sirens going on at the time either. Detroit police confirmed that this did happen on Monday morning about 12:40 near Davison and Ewald Circle. They say that the officer and the other driver were both taken to the hospital. The condition of the other driver is still unknown at this time, but the officer is expected to be okay. Police say that that crash is now under investigation. This Pontiac man accused of sex trafficking a woman for over a year will be in court today. Trevor Scarborough faces several charges, including prostitution, human trafficking, and felony firearm. The Oakland County Sheriff's Office searched his home and arrested him earlier this month after getting a tip. Today's court appearance is a probable cause hearing. It's set for 1:30 this afternoon. A former Highland Park teacher is due in court next week on some disturbing charges. Vincent Weaver is accused of grooming and sexually assaulting a student between the ages of 10 and 12 on school grounds. He was arrested on Friday. School leaders from George Washington Carver Academy, where he taught, are reacting. They say that Weaver was fired as soon as the allegations were made. The school superintendent says our immediate top priority and focus remains the safety and well-being of our students and their families, and we are committed to supporting them with appropriate resources during this time. Well, let's call it a slap on the wrist for Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson after violating the Michigan Campaign Finance Act. Attorney General Dana Nessel says that Benson broke the rules by holding a news conference in a government building to announce her gubernatorial bid in January. Benson says that she invited reporters inside because it was too cold outside. While Nessel confirmed the violation, the law does not allow her office to impose any type of penalty. The Attorney General can only urge Benson to avoid future violations. So far, there's been no response from the Secretary of State. A judge hearing the outcries against the disposal of radioactive waste at a Van Buren Township landfill. Health experts and elected leaders testified against the idea yesterday, saying that it just doesn't belong in their community. The waste is left over from the 1942 Manhattan Project, which created the atomic bomb during World War II. Wayne Disposal in Van Buren Township is one of only a handful of sites in the country that can store that type of waste. Belleville Mayor Kenneth Boig noted the possible issues that could cause over time.
The more we have, the worse it gets. And you have this facility that's taking all these forever chemicals, and then we're throwing radioactive material in on top of it. To me, that's a recipe for disaster.
The hearing picked back up earlier this morning. We'll continue to monitor the developments there. Meantime, we do want to check in with Ashley because we do have some rain inching closer to southeast Michigan today.
Well, we have scattered rain chances that are going to continue to build in throughout the afternoon. In fact, they will last well into the next several days. So looking at an hourly forecast this afternoon, have the umbrella on hand. We'll top out close to 60. Some areas might not even reach that, and will be even cooler the next couple days as the rain will linger. Low pressure will be just trickling along the Great Lakes and taking its sweet time to move out of here. So a little sneak peek at the next 5 days as we'll be in the 50s through Thursday, right around 60 again on Friday, with a gradual warm up Saturday. Will we take that warming trend into your Memorial Day weekend? Well, we'll have more on that coming up next.
Well, at least it looks dry for the Memorial Day weekend. Well, you never know when you're going to be in a situation where someone may need CPR. That's why it's so important to know how to do it. An estimated 70% of cardiac arrests actually happen at home. Knowing how to do CPR could stand between life and death for someone that you love. That's why tomorrow you can get free hands-only CPR training at this month's Go For It event. You can grab your phone, scan the QR code on your screen to sign up. That'll take you to the link at Click on Detroit downdetroit.com, where you can register. You can also just walk in. The training is going to be at the Coleman Young Recreation Center on Detroit's East Side. We'll be there all day tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and you'll learn how to save a life with hands-only CPR. Please note, no formal certification will be given, but you'll certainly get the skills or a refresher if you haven't had any training in a while.